Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
You know that little automatic message, the out-of-box reply you set up?
Oh, yeah. The ooh.
Exactly. Well, today, we're not just, glancing at it. We're actually diving deep into what those things really say.
Right. Beyond just, I'm not here.
Totally. We've
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of examples here.
Yeah.
Everything from the super polite, kind of bland ones
Mm-hmm.
to others that, well, they definitely make you pause.
They make a statement.
They do. So our mission today is basically to decode this, hidden language of the ooh.
And help you understand it all without feeling overwhelmed by, email etiquette nuances.
Yeah, think of it as getting a handle on workplace communication, but with this surprising little twist.
Precisely. Because what looks like just admin, it can actually tell you a lot about the culture, maybe personal branding,
Oh, for sure.
even those little unspoken office things, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we're hoping to give you a way to kind of read between the lines, whether it's someone else's or maybe even when you're writing your own. Okay, so where should we start? Maybe with what we're calling the 3 tiers of ooh shade.
Sounds good. It's like a spectrum.
Yeah, a spectrum of subtle messaging. So level 1, the base level.
Mm-hmm.
That's the polite, boring but safe.
Yeah. The standard one.
The classic, I'll respond when I return. That's it.
It does the job, right? Tells
Mhm.
people you're away, response will be delayed, it's the default.
It is. But let's be honest, sometimes the subtext feels a bit like
Go on.
translation, I will eventually get to your email.
Go on.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's often that feeling. Okay, so moving up.
Moving up, we hit the flexing tier. This is the subtle brag.
The humble brag?
Pretty much. We found a perfect
Yeah.
example. Off-grid in the Alps, connection unlikely.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that's doing more than just saying you're out.
Right.
The specific location, the Alps, the little emoji, the connection unlikely bit.
It's all signaling something.
What's it signaling, you think?
Status, maybe? Lifestyle? It's like, I'm not just off, I'm having an adventure.
Totally. The unspoken part feels like
Translation, my time off is way cooler than your Tuesday morning.
pretty much sums it up.
And then at the top tier,
Yeah.
the peak of the pyramid, we've got the aggressive.
The HR warning zone.
Basically, yeah. Think about this one. Repeat. I am out. Stop emailing.
Oof.
All
That's
correct.
that's moved way past subtle hints. It's like pure frustration broadcast to your inbox.
Yeah, the all caps, the repeat. It feels like they're drawing a very, very hard line.
Maybe commenting on the always-on culture too, perhaps.
Could be. The translation feels pretty straightforward here. Translation, seriously, leave me alone. I need this break.
Yeah. No ambiguity there.
Speaking of O-reality versus, well, the message. We got this great story from a listener.
Oh, yeah.
They set their O to something like meditating in silence, etc. Very zen.
Okay.
But then they got caught, actively liking stuff on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And of course, the internet being the internet. Hashtag, hoo hoo, Prit started trending. That's brilliant. It just shows, doesn't it? Your digital footprint can kind of undermine the image you're trying to project.
Even with something as simple as an O,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you wonder about authenticity, you know?
Absolutely. How real are we being in these little digital interactions?
Okay, so those are the ones clearly sending some kind of message.
Yeah.
But there's also this whole art form of, sounding helpful while actually doing nothing.
Ah, yes, the performative helpfulness. Ooh.
Let's start with the try someone else with redirect. We saw this.
Yeah.
For urgent needs, contact Dave. And then in parentheses, who hates me now?
The parenthetical comment is key there.
Right.
It gives an option, but it also subtly implies it might not be a smooth process. Maybe deflects responsibility a bit.
Totally. Good luck with Dave. Then there's the technically available lie.
A classic.
The classic. Checking email occasionally.
Mm-hmm. We've all seen that.
And the spoiler alert we all instinctively know.
Spoiler, don't hold your breath.
Exactly. Spoiler, you're not really checking, are you?
It's expectation management, isn't it? Trying to seem available without actually, being available softens the blow of a delayed reply.
It's a way to say, I'm kind of here without committing. And then, my personal favorite category of avoidance.
Let me guess. The vague return.
The vague return.
Yeah.
What we called chaotic evil.
Build it.
The message is just, back soon?
Simple, elegant, infuriating.
Because the immediate question is, define soon. Are we talking tomorrow, next week, ever?
It leaves the sender completely hanging. No commitment, just vagueness. It puts all the onus back on the sender to follow up later. It's kind of a power move in a way.
It really is. We even found this supposed pro tip emphasis on the
Oh
support.
my, I'm intrigued.
The tip is add sorry for the delay to the very first email you send when you get back.
The preemptive apology.
Right, but the subtext is kind of like, I'm saying the word sorry, but am I really sorry? Probably not.
It's social grease, isn't it? Acknowledges the delay happened, smooths things over, but doesn't really take ownership. Very common tactic.
Yeah, it's fascinating how these little phrases work and how they might vary culturally, too. We looked into some cultural differences.
Oh, that's interesting. What did you find?
Well, apparently, in the U.S., seeing recharging in an O
Yeah.
can sometimes be read as, I'm overworked and possibly a bit annoying about it.
Why annoy?
I guess the thinking is, in some work cultures, maybe explicitly stating you need to recharge comes across as, I don't know, lacking grit or oversharing.
Interesting. Maybe related to that hustle culture thing where constant productivity is prized.
Could be. That makes sense. Meanwhile, you look at Germany.
Okay.
A German O saying Urlaub until specific date is apparently very clear.
And what's the translation?
Basically, do not ping me. Full stop.
Right. Much more direct. Urlaub is just vacation, and the date sets a really firm boundary. Clear separation of work and life.
Yeah, exactly. Very unambiguous. And then Australia.
How do they do it down under?
The common one is apparently on holes.
Okay, casual
Yeah.
holes for holidays.
Yeah. And the unofficial translation.
Let me guess. Something relaxed.
I'm probably tipsy on a beach somewhere.
Huh? I like it. Very laid back. Reflects maybe a more informal style, less fussed about projecting constant professionalism.
Yeah, there's a certain charm to it.
Mhm.
We also heard about a particularly bold listener hack.
A hack. For ooze.
Yeah, they called it Ooh Roulette.
Roulette. How does that work?
The strategy is you set up two different auto replies. One is, standard polite.
Okay.
The other one is maybe a bit more sassy, bit spicy.
Uh-huh.
And then you just forget which one is active when you turn it on,
Wow, that's flying with fire.
isn't it? Leaving your professional replies entirely to chance.
That introduces a wild element of risk. Could be funny, could be very awkward.
Definitely a gamble.
No.
Which actually leads us nicely into this week's listener challenge. We're calling it Ooh Spy.
Ooh, sounds intriguing. What's the mission?
Okay, your mission, should you choose to accept it. 3-part.
Lay it on me.
Part 1. Spot one flex ooh-oh. Keep your eyes peeled in your inbox for one of those subtle brags. Maybe a digital detox.
Right, the kind where you know they're still checking Instagram.
Exactly. Part 2. Write a petty draft. This is just for fun.
Okay.
Draft an ooh-oh that's deliciously passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Something like, currently prioritizing things that aren't this email.
Heh.
But and this is crucial, do not send it.
Right. Keep that one in the drafts folder for catharsis only.
Precisely. And finally, part 3. Deploy strategic vagueness. Try crafting an ooh-oh that just says something like, back at some point, or will respond in the future. See how it feels.
So the challenge is really about actively noticing these different styles, trying them out mentally, and maybe using a bit of safe vagueness.
Exactly. It gets you thinking about the intention behind them. And speaking of intentions, we found one example we had to call ooh of crimes.
Oh dear, what was the crime?
Someone's ooh apparently said, completely unavailable, no access.
Standard enough.
But then they joined the team Zoom call
Yeah.
from a hammock on a beach.
No. The sheer audacity. That's amazing.
Right. Caught red-handed or maybe hammock-handed.
Huh. Okay, so wrapping this all up.
Yeah, so after this deep dive, you should hopefully have a much better feel for all the layers, the subtle stuff, and the not-so-subtle stuff in those ooh messages.
We're better equipped now to sort of decode them when you see them.
And maybe think a bit more about crafting your own.
Yeah.
With a bit more intention.
Definitely. You've hopefully got some insight into how they reflect work dynamics, maybe
Basically.
cultural norms, even personality.
It just shows how even mundane communication can have hidden depths.
Absolutely.
So go on, disappear with style next time you're off. Just maybe a friendly reminder.
Yeah.
If you're actually secretly checking your emails the whole time,
Yeah.
maybe just stick with the boring, polite,
Yeah.
less chance of getting caught.
Sound advice.
Yep.
And maybe one final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
Next time you set that out of office, just take a quick second. Think about the impression it gives off.
Mhm.
What message, intended or not, are you actually sending out into the world?
Good question. It's a small thing, but it might say more than you think.